Ford and General Motors have largely been disrupted today by Toyota. This is sort of a well-known story now, but interestingly enough, Toyota did not get its start by coming up with the high-flying Lexus. Their first car, if some of you will remember, was the crummy car called the Corona, which rusted quickly. It wasn't very good at all. But they had this really interesting insight, which was, let's market this car to non-consumers, people who couldn't afford the gas-guzzling cars of Detroit. So they were delighted with this automobile, which was, for them, better than the alternative, nothing at all. And initially, Ford and General Motors were pretty happy to say, that doesn't look like an attractive marketplace. Let's cede that ground, flee. And from the Corona, Toyota improved it in sustaining fashion after this initial disruption, from the Corona to the Tercel, to the Corolla, Camry, 4Runner, Avalon, and then the Lexus. Now, to be fair to Ford and General Motors managers, they did see these guys coming ultimately. They saw this disruption relative to them coming. They said, you know, okay, we ought to go compete with those guys at the low end. And so they'd send down a Pinto or a Chevette. But when they compared the margins of selling one of those vehicles with the unmitigated blessing of being able to churn out another Ford Explorer or Cadillac Escalade, it just didn't make any sense. And so they'd retreat back up market and keep ceding ground. And of course, by the time they really realized what was going on, it was too late, because Toyota had built this huge advantage, this huge share, and transformed the world. Now, incidentally enough, Toyota is being disrupted today. They don't feel it because they have the luxury of stealing market share from Mercedes-Benz at the high end, but they're being disrupted today by the Koreans, the car companies like Kia and Hyundai. And they basically own the subcompact end of the market. And if you're actually looking out on advertisements now, I have one that I've clipped, where Hyundai says, let's do to Toyota what they did to Mercedes. So they're totally unambiguous about that they're coming. And underneath them are Chinese and Chery, and then Indians and Tata. We don't need to worry about them because they'll never be good enough. But you see the process repeatedly going through. And so we talked about the universities, state universities, community colleges, online universities, department stores, discount retail, online retail. You have the computing industry that we've talked about. You have high-priced brokerage funds being replaced by exchange-traded funds, replaced by index funds, on in all sorts of things. And now Skype, obviously, is disrupting telecommunications. You see it all over, really. And you never start by going at the high end. You go to where it looks unappealing and where the existing organization is motivated to flee. And you hope by the time they're motivated to fight, you've built up your sustainable advantage, your differentiation because of the job. Where the leading organizations have done so well, again, is when they've recognized, this may not be a threat tomorrow, but the day after it will be. And rather than just fight, let's frame it as an opportunity and let's do it ourselves.